Hey, how's it going? My name is jackiefishhh and welcome back to some more Kingdom Come Deliverance. This is most likely 98% sure last episode in the main story, and my god, what a journey it has been. I thought last episode would be, but we still had a couple of surprising stuff to do, which was a lot of fun, so if you haven't seen it, make sure to go back and watch it. But if you have enjoyed this series at any point, please do go drop a like on the video. It really helps out the series and I appreciate it a ton. So the 2-day bombardment period of the trebuchet has commenced. This will probably be one of the last boulders we shoot out, and the forces are preparing. More reinforcements did actually turn up for us, which is nice. And we're going to be using them men to push on. And you can just hit. So you can actually hear it. So I guess at Retave, the explosions we were hearing were actually to do with the trebuchet. I guess I didn't think it would be that fast, but I assume it does make a lot of noise, so it does make sense. So don't worry, I am here and ready.
Since Sir Divish's colours still aren't flying over Talmberg, I suppose we'll be attacking.
Just so. That Ishtvan's a stubborn bastard.
Alright, when do we start?
There's no reason to wait. Are you really ready? If you need to rest or anything, we can still wait. You won't have another chance until we've won the day. Or until your final rest.
I am more than ready. We have got all our armor up. We went back to Retay last episode. We've sharpened our swords. We've honed our skills. And I'm ready to teach this bastard a lesson.
I'm
and
ready.
Claim back my father's sword and save
Glad
Sir
to hear
Radzig.
it. We're going to attack on two fronts. The north gate and the west wall, which will scale with ladders. The attack will be split into different stages. Taking the outer walls, the inner bailey, and finally the core of the castle and the tower.
Okay, let's ask a bunch of questions then.
How are we going to attack the gate?
We'll try to do as much damage as we can with the trebuchet first. Keezer claims he can even hit it directly. Even if that's true, we'll have to charge through a downpour of enemy arrows all the way to the portcullis.
Portcullis?
Fortunately, it's wooden, so we'll be able to break it down. But dealing with the defense in the bailey won't be easy.
And what's the plan for attacking the west wall?
First, we have to get men to the wall with ladders, which is no easy matter under fire, so we'll need as many men covering them as possible. As soon as the ladders are in place, our foot soldiers will run up and try to scale the wall. Once a few of them get to the battlements, we should quickly gain the upper hand.
How will we take the battlements?
Either by scaling the west wall, or our men at the gate will help. If they can break through, that is.
And the inner bailey?
That will be tough. Even if we get through the gate and into the outer bailey, we're still a long way from victory. The castle is designed so we'll be like hens in a coop to anyone with a bow on the inner battlements. We'll have to either fight our way through, or somehow get around them.
What about the living quarters?
There, I'm worried most about the hostages. Once we're inside, Ishtvan will know defeat is inevitable, but we'll still have to fight for each and every room.
Okay,
I think I've heard everything.
let's get started, boy. Oh boy, I'm excited
Do you
for
want to
this
join the
siege.
attack on the walls or on the gate? Remember, many of the Skalitz men will follow you. It could make a big difference.
I'll help with the attack on the walls.
Will I?
I'm proud of you, Henry. You've changed from an insolent pup into a tough, reliable fighter. And as God is my witness, we will kick those whore sons' arses.
A village lad and an old soldier. This van must be shaking in his boots.
If he's not shaking, then he doesn't know what he's got coming. Just one last thing, though. No matter how good the plan is, something always gets fucked up. Keep your eyes open and take advantage of every chance. Help your comrades, and don't go rushing in where you're outnumbered. We have to take the castle gradually, one position after another.
I'll remember that.
Good luck to you, stripling.
Good luck to you, old soldier.
To be fair, I was probably going to choose the walls anyway, but it would have been cool to have the choice of either going to the gate or scaling the walls. And all the Skalitz men will be beside me, so if, I guess Sir Radzig does die and we become Lord of Skalitz, even though there's nothing left of Skalitz, you know, we might still inherit stuff. I mean, I don't think Sir Radzig has actually, you know, legitimized us yet, so I imagine if he does die for whatever reason in this, then, you know, we just fail into, you know, existence? I don't know, like, what would even happen? But here we go. Storming the walls is our objective. My sword is sharpened and ready. I will slay as many men as possible. Let's go. The assaulting force. Arrow fire coming in. Let's go, boys. I want to be one of the first up there. I'm not going to lie. We've got 3 ladders here to push on the enemy. Forward, boys. Arrows coming. Oh, my God. The arrows are pouring in. So many of the men are dropping right now. These guys need to learn to dodge. The weaker units first. I'm the first man in. Come on, let me in. I am the vanguard, the forlorn hope. I will lead these men to victory. The other ladders aren't even at the wall yet, and we are pushing up over. Come on, men. Forward on till glory. This is where we make a name for ourselves and show Toth that we are not to be messed with. Here we go. Let's jump down immediately. Try and take these guys down. We're getting surrounded. Oh, my God. He did tell me not to be surrounded here, and losing health early is not a good plan. Let's just try and push our way out and hopefully bide ourselves some time until reinforcements come up. Yeah, we're getting surrounded right now. Just need to push him back so we can then... Nice, there we go. We've got some space now, and more men have turned up as well. This archer is going to be killed. That was risky for a second. I definitely shouldn't have advanced as much as I did. We took a cheeky hit there. We need to use our numbers now, though.
Clear those battlements!
Nice, done. Now we need to go help at the gate quickly. Helping at the gate is huge. Come on, boys. Just take him down. He can't be that hard to kill. He's only an archer. Perfect. Now take the gate. We want to try and open it up, right? Can we? Wait, we're still fighting? Oh, we're still storming the walls, clearing. I assume we want to get the gate open if we could, but portcullis. Oh, there's a portcullis over here. More fighting now, heavy fighting. But every hit, we need to make sure we go to the front because every hit by us is so important. That guy's almost down. It's a massive cluster right now, but I mean, battles would be, right? Battles honestly would be such a cluster, especially in a castle like this. You'd just be swinging your sword ferociously, hoping that you could hit and break their line. I might try out my Warhammer actually really quickly, sorry to break the immersion, and just see how much damage we can do to these guys. We're pretty much free hitting them. Not actually too much. I mean, I guess it's not the best hammer in the world, but I mean, we're doing damage. It's definitely helping against the lightly armored people. Oh, it's just chaotic fighting coming down on that guy. Yes, it does good damage for hammer, and it's quick, which is, I think, the main thing. So we can get 3 or 4 swings off without too much problems. Obviously, these lightly armored guys are not as easy to break. Okay, there's hardly any lightly armored guys again. It's kind of annoying I can't just switch between these. I'll pull my sword back out. Okay, another one taken out. Try and stab this guy. The fighting is just so brutal. That guy is a mace as well, so we wanted to avoid him. Nice. Now it's just one guy left, and he's dead as well. Yeah, push on. How's the fighting in the gate coming? Can we open this? So these are the inner Baileys. Where are we off to now? Are we going to open this, or are we charging in? The fighting at the gate must be horrific. Okay, we're just pushing on here then, into the inner thing. The Scallops men here. I hope they've made their way. Yes, they have made their way. Come on, boys. Push, push, push. We've made our way into the actual courtyard, breaking down the gate. Oh, look at how many men we have here. This is crazy. We can come up behind them and get some easy hits off on these lightly armored foes. You can see the gate has been broken down. Again, I'm trying to look for these lightly armored people because they can just reduce the numbers. Granted, that guy is not lightly armored. But we can 1v1 if you want to go, man. We can have a little cheeky 1v1. No, he's going to go off and try and help someone else off. I mean, we can get some good swings off as well. Some archer just got in my way. We just poured him down. Yeah, this is like top tier armor, that guy right there. But so is that. Oh, there's Sir Hans! Sir Hans, I will help with you. Yeah, slicing this guy's back up. Come on, one more swing. One more swing. Nice, took down the heavily armored dudes. Are so important right now. I mean, I thought after we get through the initial like block of their armor and start wounding it, we really start to pile in. So Hans' armor is awesome. He's gonna push me back, that's not good, but we have reinforcements, which is fine. Again, that overhead swing leaves us a bit vulnerable to their swings, but obviously is a faster weapon as well. It's when their armor depreciates we really get the advantage. So many men have died here though. Where are reinforcements as well? The extra men that turned up. Oh, that was such a good dodge him and slice on the head. Okay, we need to be careful here, careful. We're getting here. We're going to get our energy back. There's a couple more men coming in. This guy's not paying attention. We can get really good damage off on him. And luckily we have the good old Skeleton boys to back us up when we do get in a bad situation. And it's just the 1, 2, 3 and they're dead. Nice, now let's push our way up. Yeah, that's everyone. We're going in here first. I want to clear the rooms. I guess clearing these rooms is a good idea though. So Hans is also helping out. Oh my god, look at that. What about this one? No one in this room, that's fine. You guys should be more than enough to deal with that. I'm just going to double check all these other rooms. Make sure there's no cowards lying around. And I guess the kitchen as well, I will clear out. Again, just making sure no one else is down here. And the kitchen looks clear, boys. And the storehouse as well, perfect. Doesn't matter if we're in a private area. So I assume everyone else has gone up here already. These rooms are all clear, to be fair. More of a battlement. Again, just going room to room, making sure that we are ensuring that no one else is here. Again, no one's hiding anywhere, so up we go again, I guess. Into the main battle rooms. Are they not here yet? Are they still trying to break through there? Because as some robot said, we don't want to risk it by just taking, you know... Do we have to go in here and sort them out? We do. Wow, there's a massive cluster. Let me through, let me through. Okay, that guy is dead. There's a few, there's like one of them left there. We'll just finish him off, please. Perfect. Now it's just the inner rooms. And this is where the trouble gets, because, you know, he's going to use Sir Radzig and Lady Stephanie as a hostage.
Sir, we should give the order.
Let's see if Istvan Toth can worm his way out of this one.
Don't tempt fate, Hanish.
Istvan! It's over! You want us to come and get you?
I wouldn't advise that. Your friend Divish wants to see his wife alive again.
And Sir Radzig? Are both hostages unharmed?
For now, Hanush, unless circumstances change.
Doesn't even realize Sir Radzig's hands are tied up.
My guest is also safe and sound, but he's also quite keen to go home. I imagine you feel the same way. It's been a long time since you warmed yourself at your own hearth.
I'm in no hurry. I've plenty of supplies here, grand view and excellent company. What more could I want?
Your freedom!
Freedom? Freedom to get an arrow in the back?
Sir, we're all noblemen here. All bound
Look
by
how
honor.
sick Sir Hans
I
looks.
give you my word as a knight and lord, and that of my companions. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
And just how far will we get? What good will it do me if your men attack us in the woods instead of here?
If you give me your word of honor that you will leave and never return, I promise you safe passage to the boundary of this fiefdom. What happens after that is up to you and the will of God Almighty.
I mean, it's
Very
the
well,
smartest
then.
move.
But I want a small safeguard. I'll give you her ladyship. But Radzig comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz.
Out of the question! Is our word not good enough for you?
Is mine not good enough for you? I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance.
I'll go with him, Hanush. Let the Lady Stephanie have her freedom now.
Father!
Don't worry, son. I trust Lord Toth's self-interest more than his word. He wouldn't be fool enough to harm me.
Again, that seems
If you're
so
certain,
dodgy. So Radzig, don't be a
Prepare
bad
horses and
guy.
supplies, and tell your men to pull back. We'll come down.
You heard him. Get to work. And any man who breaks his truce answers to me.
So, are you really going to let them go?
My word is my bond, Henry.
He's a cutthroat and a liar. Good men are dead because of him. What's to stop us from skewering him as soon as he sets foot outside?
Our honor.
If you let him go, he'll do the same again. Or worse.
God's justice will find him. And then he'll get a taste of my mace.
If we break our word of honor, we have none. And without honor, we are nothing. Never fear. Your father will be all right.
We'll hunt down those vermin yet.
It just feels so dodgy. I don't want Sir Radzig to be the bad guy,
Bring the
but
horses.
Here she is, as I promised. Not a hair on her head harmed.
Divish.
I don't know why she's doing that when she laid with me.
I'm sorry
For what?
for letting them into the castle.
Come now, my dear. You're not to blame.
I didn't know who he was. He said he was your friend.
Never mind. Did he hurt you?
No.
That's one down.
I hope your word can be trusted.
Certainly more than yours.
If everything goes as agreed, I'll set Radzig free in Skalitz. If anyone tries to follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
My apologies for keeping you from your father, but you'll see each other soon enough. Oh, I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. Actually, you know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you.
I look forward to it. Yeah!
Quick! To the battlements! We have to see which way they go! Oh, they really are heading for Skalitz. Mount up, Henry.
You've heard what he'll do if we follow them.
We're not going to follow them. We just have to collect your father. Or do you want him to walk back here when they release him?
I feel like this is nowhere near over. We're dueling that guy, and I bet you Sigismund's army is very close, or at least nearby. Or Sir Radzig is evil. Or all three. All three, I assume, would be the most likely outcome. I love it how Sir Hans is coming. Maybe Sir Hans isn't on it as well, because again, they said early on that...
Come to you. You'll see.
Well,
Oh, Sir Hans, don't be
just
evil.
hope he'll be there.
Because they said early on that there's trouble when you're handing over fiefdoms to one another, and obviously he's pissed off that he hasn't got it yet. He's old enough to get it. So is Sir Hans and Sir Radzig all in on it together? You coming, Sir Hans? I do like his armor though. The golden tint to it is really, really cool.
This is quite a turnaround, isn't it?
What do you mean?
How long have we known each other? A few weeks?
Something like that.
Before that, I was chasing wenches around Rattay and you were digging turnips. And now look at us. A pair of veterans.
I was an apprentice blacksmith, not a turnip digger.
Same difference, you silly bugger.
Hans, what are you doing? Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna leave you. I need to get to Skalitz ASAP, so let's ride hard and fast, and I'm sure Hans will catch up. He's first running up on the pavement, then second charging his way forward in the river. I mean, I'm sure he can catch up, right? And I love how the way the game's coming to the end and we're kind of going back to Skalitz the same way we left it all that time ago. It's quite like I guess a thing a lot of people wouldn't notice, but it's a really good like story writing, you know. It all starts at Skalitz, and I imagine it's all going to end at Skalitz as well. And that's a really interesting way of doing it. You're riding the exact same path back, but you're riding back a knight rather than say a blacksmith.
There's no sign of them. Move on. There!
Oh, there's going to be all of Sigismund's army behind him, right? As soon as we go over the hill. Or not. Or am I just thinking way too much into this?
I'm glad to see Istvan kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
Well, we kept our word too. And now Toth has had his head start and he's fair game. Which way do they go?
To the north, but I would be careful, Sir Hans.
Fear not, Your Grace. I have twice as many men as he. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure the two of you have a lot to say to each other. Let's go!
Are you all right, Father?
I am. They treated me quite decently. Although they did steal my horse, so I'll have to go back on foot.
You can just have my horse, obviously.
It looks like it's all over.
Not by a long shot. It won't be over until we get this mess cleared up.
And catch that bastard. How could we let him go?
Would you rather we killed him? Even if it meant Lady Stephanie and I died too?
No, of course not. But what was to stop us from killing him after the exchange?
Honor?
Honor?
If the word of honor of a nobleman could not be trusted, then he would never have agreed to the exchange.
And where's the honor in abandoning your son?
Oh, shit.
You know how it is. We were young. It happened. And I couldn't marry a commoner. Then your father, Martin, came along and took care of both of you.
Well, he knew it.
What? That I was your father? Certainly. He was a great man. He took you as his own. And always kept an eye on you. Of that you can be sure.
I know so little about his past.
He told you nothing? Oddly enough, even though you don't have his blood, you're very like him. When he was around your age, he became bored of his trade and set out to see the world. He lived through many adventures, even fought in a war.
In a war?
Yes, in Poland, I believe. And I don't think he cared much for it.
That's why he wanted me to stay at home.
He spent some time in Prague, then settled in Kuttenberg. But it seems he quarreled with someone there and finally ended up here. You know the rest.
I loved him, but even so, I somehow always had a feeling I didn't quite fit in.
It was in your blood, I suppose.
I lost the one thing I had left from him. Your sword.
Ah, the sword. It's not my sword. It's yours. For a moment there, it was so near, yet so far. Oh, well, it can't be helped.
It was almost within my grasp, but just then I had something else on my mind.
Well, I think we may yet have a chance to get it back. This business with Toth is not yet over, unfortunately.
That's a chance I'd welcome. Not just to get the sword, but that bastard Istvan too. And then I'll find that German whoreson who torched Skalitz, and I'll slay him with it. I'll never forget his face. Or his name. Mark Vart von Aulitz.
Those are noble intentions, son. But don't forget there are other things in this world that are worth living for.
Like what?
Look around you. Blue skies overhead, green grass underfoot, beautiful girls. Good wine, a few good friends, and a fine steed under your backside. Those are things worth living for. Though I can't deny that swine who killed your mother must pay for what he did. But it's better not to dwell too much on that at the cost of those other things. On the subject of steeds, I think we'll have to ride like the Knights Templar.
How's that?
2 up. One day I'll tell you how they got their seal. You can take the front.
I'm glad Sir Radzig wasn't in leagues with everyone.
It's like I always imagined it would be. Teaching my boy to ride. Although it would be better if you were a little smaller. My word, it's all go today, isn't it? I wonder who this is.
I think I know. It's Margrave Jobst.
The king's cousin? I wonder what he wants. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
There we have it. The game is over. What a wonderful, wonderful game. I must say that this has hands down been the best game I have ever played. Honestly, well, not ever played, but ever played recently. Like, there hasn't been a game in the past 5, 6, 7 years that has really gotten me that much into it, made me enjoy every single aspect, and it's just been amazing. So hats off to every single person who made this game. They really did an amazing job, and making such an old school game as well. They don't make games like this anymore, really, which is such a shame, because hopefully this has shown people, shown the other AAA studios that you can make an extremely successful game with sticking in content and not streamlining stuff and just giving people the freedom to explore and do what they want to, because honestly it was just so much fun. Talking of it as well, hopefully they'll make DLCs for this game. I'm sure they will, considering how well it sold. I believe they made back their money they spent on the product within 2 days and sold over 1 million in the first week. 1 million copies in the first week, which is just amazing. So I'm sure we will be getting DLC at some point further on down the line, and I expect it to be just as high quality as this game, with, maybe we can go and see what Henry's, I guess, stepdad did, in the wars he fought in Poland. Obviously they've left it on a good cliffhanger with seeing what this lord wants. Imagine is to raise forces up against, Sigismund and his army. Again, that'll be really interesting to find out. There's obviously loads of talk as well when we met Toth in the beginning, talking about the wars, and obviously Brian Blessed was saying that he was at one of the sieges as well, which failed. Maybe at Istanbul, but I think so was somewhere else. And again, maybe we can go and fight them. There's just a lot of possibilities, and I think now they've got a really, really good foundation for the game. They know what works, they know what don't works. They can really funnel that into the DLC and make some insane stuff with improvements. Because I feel like, it was kind of hard towards the end to do any type of moves, because everyone was so clustered up and you could only really ever get 1 or 2 swings off. So you could never really get into that full move set. I would also love to see, maybe if you do manage to finish off a good move and you end up killing someone with that move, to actually get a kill animation. I think that would be really awesome to see, having that. Again, more sieges I would be amazing. I'd love the DLC just to be a huge city siege or something like that. Would just be amazing. Obviously Prague, people talked about Prague, and I can't remember the other place. So Radzig did mention it. But yeah, you had stuff like that. Maybe we could go there and fight. Sigismund obviously does historically end up becoming emperor. So, there's obviously a lot of storyline left to go for Sigismund and his journey to continue on. So there's a lot of stuff for him to do, and hopefully, we'll still be there every step of the way. I mean, honestly, if we are going after the Duke of Luxembourg, that dude who killed our mother, we are going to be fighting on the wrong side of history, as it were. But, I will go down to my last breath I have been thinking, you know, still to do content. If you guys would still like me to do content on the game, do let me know in the comments down below. There's still a bunch of raiding missions which I can do. There's still a couple side missions I might partake in, as well as, you know, just looking at all the mods. Keep you guys updated on the Game of Thrones mod, which is being developed. And honestly, that makes me extremely excited. The Game of Thrones mod, if they can get, you know, sound effects, speeches, you know, they can design cutscenes, there's literally nothing they can't do, because this game has everything, you know. And Game of Thrones is very much like this, besides the dragons. But again, what they're planning on doing with the Game of Thrones mod is the War of the Five Kings. So there's something to do with Daenerys and her dragons. It's all just fighting in the Riverlands between Stark, Lannister, obviously having the, you know, the Reach coming into it right when Robb marches, or when Stannis Baratheon comes in and marches on King's Landing. You know, you have the Ironborn making their way northwards. There's just so much action coming in. And if they can create cutscenes, they have an amazing voice actor who's actually been on Jimmy Kimmel with his voice acting before, you know, talking about Jon Snow and stuff. You know, maybe they can even make separate places where you go up to the wall and meet Jon. You know, it's just going to be insane if they can put together, and the mod tools are good enough. Obviously, at the moment the mod tools aren't out, so they're unsure on what they're able to achieve at the moment. But even if it, you know, even if, like, you know, obviously, you know, the best case scenario is they can basically just go mad, create cutscenes, create speeches with the database, have their own voices in there, you know, create their own NPCs and buildings and missions and storylines and sieges. It would be crazy cool. But even if worst case scenario comes along and they can't create cutscenes, I guess they could even, you know, always just, you know, have really sick armor in that. Obviously, the main lead designer, Blake, you know, we know him from Seven Kingdoms. He is an amazing artist, creating some really high detailed models. And they also have a bunch of really skilled, you know, people who have worked on AAA games in their team as well. So I'm super excited for the Game of Thrones mod, and I wish it the best of luck. If you've made it this far, hats off to you, because there is actually something at the end. Apollo told me that there is a little scene right towards the end of the credits, so it's worth sticking around. I also want to make sure, like, I don't want to just cut it right towards the end of the clip, because everyone who worked on this game deserves to be shown, you know, even if it's just a glimpse of your vision. You know, they did an amazing job on this game. And I believe there's something at the end. Do I have to press close to end it? I'll wait till the music to end, because I don't want to end it and we miss out on the clip. Yeah? Is that, can I press escape? Again, I don't want to miss it.
Doing well, son.
Father.
Come now. You know who sired you.
That doesn't matter now. I miss you, Amar. I miss you very much.
You'll be fine. We're proud of you.
For what? I let you down. I lost the sword. I let that bastard get away.
Don't be so hard on yourself. There was nothing you could have done to save us. And someone has to live and carry the torch. As for the sword, it's just a thing.
You didn't want me fighting. Now look at me.
Standing up to evil isn't the same as sowing its seeds. You did what was right. I have to leave you now.
Oh, please.
You know I can't stay.
Will I ever see you again?
God knows.
He's gonna become like a spirit ghost, like in Star Wars.
Make her proud.
Oh, don't go. No.
What on earth were you dreaming about? I couldn't wake you, and it's well past dawn. Sir Radzig wants you at the upper castle. The lords are in council with Jobst.
Right. I'll go straight away. What is it?
It's just... I don't know how to address you anymore. All of a sudden you're Sir Radzig's son, hobnobbing with lords and ladies. And here's me, as common as muck.
Oh, give over, you idiot. Do I look like a lord to you?
Not really. You're as much a lord as I am a nun. And I've never looked good in a habit.
Get out of here! Or I'll have you clapped in the stocks.
That was a great little ending, like just to show, you know, Henry and how far he's come. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I assume it just sticks us up at the, like, kind of bottom of the game to basically just do whatever we want, right? We don't have any quests, do we? Go to the upper castle and... Oh, we actually do have a couple more. Wow, there's actually quite a bit then. Wow. I guess we'll go, like, to carry on. Well, I honestly thought, you know, we were done with it, but I guess there is a bit of content right towards the end of the game. Are we just walking around in... Oh, we are in full armor, great.
Jesus, look where you're going.
Go to the upper castle during the day and meet. Yeah, well, I guess we will. It's not my horse, that's Sir Radzig's. Oh, we have, like, the same cut of armor. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I guess we'll make our way up here and see what's going on. Okay, like, we have the credits and everything. I was really sure. Maybe it'll, like, make us go up here and then it will kind of fade to black and that'll be it. Because it does say this is, like, the end, obviously, the episode being, you know, the ending of it, but... I guess this could outline our plans for the future and the DLC itself.
Oh, Hal. Are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Radzig.
It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
Question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur, that King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergholf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Bergholf is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghof, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts, and now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghof know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, Your Grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like scarlets? We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Bergov at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Bergov would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Kuttenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I've packed my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft a letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
Good day, Henry.
God, there is still more, really?
To write it in your name, Lord of Lifa.
Quite so, Margrave.
What exactly am I?
This is awesome, I'm not
Looks
complaining.
like you're off on a mission.
Yes. I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention that Bergov is no saint.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Bergov tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply, and return.
Yes.
Very well. Bergov is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
Bloody hell, there's a lot to ask, but how
I'm
let's
getting a bit
do
lost
for
in
it.
the Luxembourg lineage. It all seems a bit too tangled.
The Luxembourgs have ruled the Empire and Bohemia for almost 100 years now. Emperor Charles brought this land to prominence. When he was in power, things had never been so good. Wenceslas and Sigismund are his sons, but by different mothers. Jobst and Prokop are their cousins. They were entrusted with governing Moravia. But instead, they've been in a bitter armed feud for years, and now Sigismund's fallen out with Wenceslas. Wenceslas also had another brother, the youngest, John of Görlitz, who was most probably poisoned. They seem like a hot-blooded lot. It's hard to keep up with their affairs, since they tend to change their alliances from one day to the next.
Who is he really, this Jobst?
The cousin of King Wenceslas. He's the Margrave of Moravia. I admit I don't know what to make of him myself. Until recently, he was allied with the League of Lords. For a time, he even served Rupert of the Palatinate against the king. And now suddenly, he's reversed his position. I don't know what led him to do it, and one can't help being suspicious. It's best to keep a watchful eye on him. But he really is the leader of the resistance against Sigismund these days. We'll just have to see how it all turns out.
We will indeed. Is there anything else I really want to know about? I think not so.
That's about all.
Very well. Take the letter from Sir Hanush. And good luck, son. So what do you think of it all, Sir Divish?
Get the letter then. And get on our way.
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Kuttenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
Awesome, we have now finished the main storyline, and obviously I guess that sets it up perfectly for DLC, what I was talking about, you know, or at least the second game maybe as well, really pushing this on, so I am looking. That's great. So we can still do side quests and missions and stuff like that if we wanted to. We probably will, you know, take advantage of that.
We can get going.
Probably definitely will do that, you know, meet him and his men, and then we'll move out at some point in the future. But I think I want to do a couple more quests before then. But thank you guys so goddamn much for all the support on this series throughout, you know, throughout every single episode. I really, really do appreciate it. It's been such a good journey, and I'm just thankful that you guys, you know, have been here to share it with me. So as I said at the beginning of the episode, it would be amazing if you could drop a like on the video, and I guess I will see you guys in the next one.